I still have thoughts at night sometimes, overwhelming thoughts. The difference is they don't take over anymore. And that didn't happen because I just tried harder. Tried harder for a long time. It happened because my body stopped treating every thought like an emergency. It stopped treating every thought like a threat. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kimberly McCauley, and I love helping Christian women feel safe inside themselves again. Because real spiritual formation requires stability. So my whole life, nighttime was the worst for me. The house was quiet. There's no distractions, especially as I've been older and lived by myself. But my mind would just start wandering, running around as if it had nothing better to do, like sleep. Sometimes I was rehearsing conversations, sometimes my actions. Sometimes it was worst case scenarios, and other times it was something positive, like the new business venture I was doing or a relationship I was starting. I would ask God why I wasn't sleeping, but I didn't hear anything. I would ask for peace to sleep as the hours would pass by. I would get so frustrated that sleep wouldn't come. And during the 2 years that it was the worst, I noticed something really interesting. One night I felt like the Lord invited me to choose to be grateful, like choose to really feel the gratitude as I was going to sleep. And those were the only nights that I slept deeply, fully. I woke up feeling so much better, were the nights that I felt genuine gratitude before I went to bed. That was why we did that exercise the other day. It was a game changer for me. And it wasn't just listing things. It wasn't forcing positivity, right? We're not talking about just making something up and tricking our mind into positive thinking. No, actually feeling the gratitude, whether it was for the season or for something else, like the coffee that I had that day just hit the spot or whatever it was. And that was really my first clue that this whole thing wasn't about discipline, right? It was about state. A couple of years later, I started to understand things and what was actually happening, and things began to shift. I tried controlling my thoughts. I tried the whole quoting scripture. I tried analyzing what I did wrong that day. I tried praying harder. And sometimes it worked temporarily, right? But the pattern always came back. Because when your body thinks everything is stress, it's going to keep doing the same things. It's going to go back to what it knows. So overthinking didn't reduce because I became more disciplined. It reduced because my baseline anxiety was reduced. So when my nervous system began to feel safer overall, the intensity of my nighttime spirals dropped. Safety came before self-control. And here's something else I've learned. Even now, if I use the tools and I still can't sleep, it's usually because there's something underneath that I haven't acknowledged yet. For me, most of the time, it's fear. Or sometimes anger that I didn't realize I was carrying. Fear about something that's going on, anger at somebody or something that I just haven't pinned. And so gratitude doesn't override those unprocessed emotions, right? It reveals, this whole experience reveals when something deeper needs the attention. Like just a couple of weeks ago, I experienced violent vertigo for the first time in my life. The week after, I couldn't fall asleep for hours every night. And that hadn't been a thing in a while. At first, I thought maybe my body's just recovering from this vertigo. My sleep was really off. I slept all day, every day for a couple of days. But after meeting with my spiritual director, I realized something deeper was going on. And I hadn't even fully admitted it to myself. Once I processed that, once I talked with the Lord honestly and acknowledged that there was some anger towards him, and I worked through it, I processed it, let it go, and I slept 7.5 hours that night. Fell asleep quickly, unlike any other night before. My body needed honesty, not effort. My body just needed to have those feelings acknowledged. Now when I start thoughts, I notice it faster. My body doesn't escalate the same way as it used to because I have tools. And because my nervous system doesn't immediately interpret every thought as danger. The spiral loses its momentum because of that. So do I still have anxious thoughts sometimes? Yeah, sure. But they don't define my night anymore. They don't define my life anymore. And in the next video, I'm going to show you what building emotional stability looks like. Actually looks like long term. Not perfection, but grounded authority. Tools that allow you to meet yourself in the moment so that you can move into such a greater space. I'll see you then.